Hey, what if I told you half the problems stressing you out today don't actually exist? And it's not because you're delusional, but because your brain is doing the thing it loves to do, creating storms out of clear skies. Today, we're talking about something we all do, even the most self-aware among us. Create problems for ourselves that we don't need. Let's get into it. Welcome to the Catalyst Podcast. I'm your host, Jason, and you can catch us on all your favorite platforms. We're talking Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Threads, and TikTok. You can also listen to our episodes on Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and our home right here at Podbean. Now, we want to hear from you. If you're interested in being a guest or a contributor, reach out to us at catalystmotivationpodcast@gmail.com. That's catalystmotivationpodcast@gmail.com. Join the Catalyst community today and be part of something truly transformative. Welcome, welcome, welcome to episode 132. How to stop overthinking everything. The 3-step reset. Okay, so before we talk strategy, I want to zoom out and look at real life, okay? The messy version, not the curated one. A few weeks ago, I texted a friend and I didn't hear back from him for 4 hours. 4 hours. Now, during those 4 hours, I invented 17 possible reasons why they were mad at me, ranging from something I said last week to the tone I imagined I had in a voice memo. When he finally replied, it was, "Hey man, sorry my phone died." That's it. No drama, no betrayal, just a battery at 2%. And yet, I'd mentally written a whole emotional saga. Sound familiar? Or how about this? I once delayed starting a project for 2 full months. Not because the project was hard, but because I convinced myself it had to be perfect. Perfectionism didn't just slow me down, it paralyzed me. It turned out that it only took me like an afternoon once I started to complete the project. Sometimes the biggest monsters under our bed, well, it's just a shadow. And let's be real. How many times have you woken up in a weird mood and suddenly your whole day felt off? Even though nothing actually bad happened. It's really amazing how quickly a thought can become truth when we don't question it. Okay, so why do we do this? Right? Why do we do it? Well, let's talk about it. Why do we manufacture problems? Why? Modern psychologist and thinker Dr. Susan David said something powerful, and I'm paraphrasing here. Emotions are data, but they're not directives. In other words, just because you feel something doesn't mean it's real or something that you must obey. Our brains evolved to protect us, not to make us peaceful. So we tend to spot threats even when the threat is something like a delayed text or a small mistake. In fact, researchers at the University of Cincinnati found that 85% of what we worry about never actually happens. And in the 15% that does happen, most people report they handle it better than they expected. So basically, your brain is an overachiever with a wild imagination. I'll tell you, if overthinking burned calories, I'd be an Olympic athlete by now, right? So let's take a look at 3 ways to stop making problems for yourself. Why do we want to do it? Well, there's a number of reasons, but let's look at 3 ways we can stop making problems for ourselves, okay? And maybe I can speak proper English. Okay, here we go. Number 1, catch the story you're telling yourself. When something happens like someone being quiet, a project going sideways, or a plan changing, your brain fills the silence with its own narrative. Best-selling researcher Brene Brown calls this the story I'm making up. Try saying that phrase out loud. Sometimes it breaks the spell. Example, The story I'm making up is that she's upset with me. But the truth is, I don't actually know that. See how suddenly the drama loses its superpower? Imagine how many conflicts, texts, spirals, and sleepless nights could have been dissolved with that one sentence. Remember it. The story I'm making up. All right, let's move on to number 2. Number 2 is move from emotion to evidence. Move from emotion to evidence. This is where modern thinkers like Adam Grant offer real clarity. Paraphrasing his message, don't believe everything you think. Interrogate your assumptions. Interrogate your assumptions. Emotional thinking says, this presentation is going to be a disaster. But evidence thinking says, I've done this before. I'm prepared. I'm just nervous. In fact, I just used this week. I have a class I'm going to be training next week, and I was freaking out. And I actually said this to myself. I've done this before. I'm completely prepared. I'm just nervous. All right? Ask yourself this. What are the facts? What are the facts? 9 out of 10 times, the facts are way less dramatic. So, move from emotion to evidence. All right? This step is the step that most people resist because it actually requires shifting behavior, not just thinking. Does this speak to you? If so, please like, subscribe, and share our podcast. We'd really, really appreciate it. Thank you all who are currently listening, and we look forward to the new listeners that we come in contact with very, very soon. Okay, let's continue on. Number 3. Number 3 is simplify your life decisions. Simplify your life decisions. See, sometimes we create problems because our life is too cluttered, not just physically, but emotionally, mentally, and socially. Minimalism isn't about owning fewer things. It's about having fewer unnecessary struggles. So do this. Try simplifying the conversations you avoid, or the commitments you don't mean yes to, or the exceptions you never agree to carry. Author Greg McGowan puts it this way: when you don't prioritize your life, someone else will. And when that someone else does, that's when resentment starts and more problems get created. So you don't need to stop your thoughts. You just need to stop believing every one of them. All right? So let's do this. Let's have a moment of reflection. All right. I want you to pause for a moment right here. Now, if you're driving, keep your eyes open, please. Please keep your eyes open. But let your heart soften, okay? What I want you to do is take a slow breath in through your nose, out through your mouth. Now, ask yourself, quietly, honestly, where have I been hiding in my own life? Where have I been hiding in my own life? Is it emotionally, spiritually, socially, in your career, in your relationships? Where have you been hiding? Now, once we acknowledge, I want you to ask yourself, what truth am I scared to admit, even to myself? What truth am I scared to admit, even to myself? And what would that mean if you finally acknowledged it? What would it mean if you finally acknowledged it? Finally, ask yourself, what part of me is asking to be seen right now? What part of me is asking to be seen right now? Not by the world, not by social media, not by your friends, but by you. Let the answers rise naturally. Don't judge, don't rush, just receive it. That awareness alone is healing. Like what you're hearing? Does this relate to you? Hey, if it does, please like, subscribe, and share to our podcast. All right? Let's move on to our actionable exercise, folks. All right? Now, It's called the 2-minute reveal. The 2-minute reveal. After this episode, I want you to do this. Take 2 minutes, grab something, the note on your phone, tablet, whatever, piece of paper, and write down. Number 1, what emotion am I pretending I don't feel? What emotion am I pretending I don't feel? Name it. Even if you whisper it, name it. Number 2, what truth have I been avoiding because I'm afraid it will change things? Now we're getting to the good stuff, right? What truth have I been avoiding because I'm afraid it will change things? Because the things we avoid are usually the things that free us. Yes. Next one. Who is one safe person I can be 5% more honest with this week? Who's the one safe person I could be 5% more honest this week? Not with everything, not the whole story, just 5%. Remember this, healing isn't dramatic. It's incremental. Okay, folks. The truth is this, life gives us enough real problems. We don't need to manufacture extra ones. So when you learn to stop creating storms, you start discovering peace. Not out there, but in here, right in here, right inside of you. Now, if this episode resonates with you, please share it with someone who needs this reminder. We appreciate you guys listening from all over the world, from Japan to China to Italy to India to Brazil. So many places. We really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much. That's it for today. Please like and subscribe to our podcast for more motivational content. Follow us on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Threads, and TikTok for even more inspiration. And pick up the book, The Ways of Compromise. It's out now. If you're looking for something to read that pushes you to think differently about your decisions, your relationships, and the way you navigate tension, this might be the book to add on your list. Thank you so much for joining us for episode 132 of the Catalyst Motivation Podcast. We look forward to seeing you next time for episode 133. Go be great.